All right, so let me start. So we will have two presentations today. And the first one, I will go over BruxZir. And the second one, I would like to, maybe no introduction necessary. You all know Ilona, but this will give everybody a chance to kind of like, experience also Ilona's personality as a presenter, as she will be the new brand manager for preventive care portfolio. So let's start, and without further ado, what we're gonna do today. So I'll go over some notable efforts, what we've done in Q2. We'll dive through the units, revenue, restarts, all of the important KPIs. Then we will look at the spend of new BruxZir accounts. So that's something new. Actually, the three things that you see are completely new. I'm trying new format to see if the team will be more engaged. People like this type of information more. Then we will dive into digital customers. So I have a little more slides. I divided digital customers, digital BruxZir customers into two groups. So one group is the BruxZir over natural prep, which is our bread and butter. But then I also did the entire portfolio, the entire BruxZir portfolio, put that into the appendix. So if you had a chance to either look through the slides that I loaded to the chat for this presentation, then feel free to look at them and you see a slight difference. Then we will go over the key campaigns. So key campaigns that help us drive the KPIs. And then I will highlight some of our initiatives for Q3 and Q4. And if time allows, we'll go over KPIs sort of like in a more granular way. But if not, then we'll go to the preventive care. So I sort of struggled with showing what are the notable efforts, because there are so many of them, and I can't really just say, okay, this was the groundbreaking effort, or the other one was the really groundbreaking effort. We had quite many of them, but I settled on two. So the first one is we launched the BruxZir upsell campaign. Most of you have heard about it for the first time. This campaign, in agreement with Brandon and his team, and also in cooperation with Lini, we wanted to do a campaign that actually included also digital customers. So as of now, we explain to digital customers, right, that they already have the $20 discount, and so no other discount can be added, right? Those are our policies. Just one discount, no combined discount and such things. But we wanted to do it a little bit differently with everything that we see in the market, specifically more and more digital customers, and that's not just Glidewell but everywhere. And as you know, millennials, this is the group of new customers, source of new customers for us, are predominantly digital. We can expect that more of them will continue submitting their prescriptions digitally. So the question is, will analog prescriptions go away? Of course they won't, right? Kind of like books will not go away. Similarly, the analog prescriptions will be there. However, the predominant way it continues to be the digital way. So seeing that so many of our customers are already digital, for BruxZir it's 60%, actually slightly more. Daryl, I know you may have different numbers, but I'll show my numbers and where they came from. And for some other products like Comfort 3D, that's over 70% customers are digital customers. So we have a challenge, right? Like, how do we market to these customers so that we don't exclude them from our offers? And of course, we want to be cognizant of the fact that our infrastructures cannot yet fully support. So we started with this campaign. So this campaign targets dentists who prescribed only 1 to 5 units of BruxZir per year. So last year. And then we've experienced actually quite success on this campaign. So we will run it again to just see if the success was accidental or is it a true success. But it looks like we were able to move 989 dentists from one bracket to another bracket, and we were able to trace 55 dentists directly to the coupons, including dentists who actually prescribe the product digitally. So it looks like CDAP actually was able to redeem the prescriptions following what I'm showing you on the screen. So we had a landing page that had two calls to action. One is download RX, so that's where the paper RX comes to play. And then the other one that says save on digital cases, where when doctor clicks on it, then they see a PDF with the instruction. And here is kind of like when we did the run through with IT. That's how it looks like. So if a doctor doesn't provide the coupon code, obviously they're not getting any discount, but if they do, they did. So it looks like that some digital doctors apply the coupon and receive the discount. So we'll see how it goes next time when we run it. But this just proves that we probably should start thinking more outside of the box, and how are we going to address the growing number of digital customers. And the second notable effort, it's a kudos really to the team as a whole. So that includes Patrick, my partner on BruxZir, Chris, who writes probably the most amazing copy that I've seen, things that we say today, like BruxZir left a warranty, or BruxZir is every generation's choice, or we are growing our practice with BruxZir, or why I choose BruxZir aesthetic. That's all Chris's work, and then stunning imagery from Ali and Carla, and of course digital team. That I have actually a nice slide on their work and how what they do helps us be more effective as marketers. So the reason why I'm calling this out is because, it's so easy to just say like, oh, we believe these are good. Like we have the KPIs, we see the units growing, revenue growing, we see restarts and new accounts growing. But sometimes it's actually good to see that, what third party, when the ad is tested by third party and they see kind of the same thing. So BruxZir aesthetic in particular scored very high, and then the new campaign that we just did that addresses a market trend of millennials replacing baby boomers also scored quite high. The next Glidewell ad was on place 10, so I think this is really good that combine all our efforts as a company. We can have nice presence, and the recall, meaning what the customers remember about the ad is also there. So just wanted to shout out to the whole team for this work. And now, so this is the new format that I wanted to start. And I divided the slides. So what I'm showing you here only refers to the BruxZir over natural prep. So basically, those are Audrey's departments, Audrey's department, Doug's, and Eileen departments, and Alex's department. But the slides in the appendix that I don't think I will have time to show, but you can go and look at them, show the entire BruxZir portfolio, and that's something that I was showing in our meeting last week with finance. So on a high level, BruxZir over natural prep is doing really good. All slides have a source, so you can source for the numbers. So you can see the numbers here for units and revenue were taken from finances. That's the performance forecast report. The number to the right are taken from a Tableau report that the IT team put for us, for marketers, so we can track our work. So as you can see, Q2 was actually really good for BruxZir over natural prep specifically. Green numbers all across the key KPIs, and I was inspired by Rob when he was like, saying that sometimes we hear not criticism, but more like remarks from our stakeholders saying like, oh, you did those mailers, you spent $40,000 on acquiring 5 customers. And where is the logic into it? So I, as a marketer, I always think that there are numbers that we can show directly, and that's what I always strive to do, and my team as well. But then there are numbers that we not always can pinpoint to, but then through word of mouth we may find out. So I thought, why not show the new accounts for BruxZir that we acquired in Q1 and Q2 of this year, and how much basically what's the evolution here at Glidewell just in the span of 2 quarters. So at the bottom you see these are the accounts that were acquired in Q1 from BruxZir. So we had 357 on them, 357 accounts identified by the report that IT put for us. Came from BruxZir over Natural Prep, and then we had 296 BruxZir accounts that came to Glidewell. So those are brand new accounts. Those are not cross-sell accounts, not restart accounts. Those are brand new accounts, doctors who had to set up account with us in order to become our customers. So when we look at the purchasing behavior, then to me it's like, oh, it looks like I already paid for all my campaigns. So I'm just like, okay, so that's a good news. And then this gave me also an idea that I want to track and see the number of these doctors, like do they stay with us, do they what happens to them, but also they spend. So I'll attempt to do this for this year and see how this goes. But as you can see, our accounts that came to Glidewell from BruxZir in Q1, vast majority of the spend is a BruxZir spend. And then they also spend something on other products that we have. And as you can guess, those are night guards, other restorative products, and other preventive care products. And then looking again to a little more granular into purchasing behavior of our accounts, especially because so many of them are digital. So again, the units, the revenue comes from finance report. The accounts come from the Tableau report given to us, and then basically then putting these accounts to Tableau, then we can see how many of them are digital and how many of them are not. And the numbers are actually higher than what I thought they would be. I thought for BruxZir it would be lower, but actually the numbers are quite high. With the active accounts again for Q2 2023 and Q2 2022. And so then I was curious and I was like, okay, are more digital accounts, what is the impact on our revenue, considering that we see that they actually prescribe slightly, maybe a few more units, but it looks like it's not as big of a difference. But then when you have 500,000 units, then this is gonna make a difference, right? And then we see spent per account, also uptick, and then I was like wondering, is there something going on with the price? So obviously, as more digital accounts will continue prescribing BruxZir, then the price, the average selling price, will inevitably go down, right? Just by the simple math. But you can see, compare these numbers here, what I have with the whole BruxZir portfolio, and you will see that actually on the whole BruxZir portfolio, the difference is slightly larger. Here is more negligible, it's about 0.1%, but for the whole portfolio, it's 1.5%. So something is maybe there. And then going through the campaigns, the BruxZir campaigns that we currently have. And just looking at them on high level. So again, everything that I will be showing you is those are focused campaign that or internally target different segments. So some, like I said, the BruxZir upsell campaign, which is we are growing our practice. They target dentists who prescribe only 1 to 5 units. BruxZir Aesthetic, we will be revising this campaign. We actually finished revising, so we're gonna launch it in just a couple of weeks. I'll talk about this at the in the section where we discuss key initiatives for next quarters. Our BruxZir is every generation choice. This is probably one of our more difficult campaigns because this campaign goes after the VIP doctors. So those are the platinum and diamond doctors. And then we have BruxZir Lifetime Warranty, the campaign, which is like probably this is our most successful campaign, but also best suited to doctors who are new to BruxZir and need more confidence because the messages, that's what the messaging helps clarify. And then we have a nice campaign, which we believe you will gain even more once the signature project is in place. Once we are able to use the same prescription for both biotemps and final, this campaign should gain even more traction. Right now is very manual and relies on Crystal's team, which is actually doing phenomenal job, because when we started this campaign, it was like $6,000. Now we have $90,000. So I think that's really really good. We try to do anything possible not to leave any option, target any segment that we see viable. And then on the high level, because I know that for most of you, probably those numbers, maybe, you know, you look at the KPI, you look at the high level, but on the marketing perspective, like we want to look at always more details, because this is where we decide, okay, when should we update the campaign? When should we refresh the messaging? Should we change the call to action? Because maybe we see the results of the campaign like cooling down versus, like, you know, improving from one quarter to another. So we look at all of those now. We look at all of those numbers to help us basically become more efficient in marketing. And again, like I mentioned, with the prevalence of digital dentists, and as we see, you know, fewer results coming from the traditional prescriptions, then we need to find more ways or other ways to determine the effectiveness of our campaign. So this is something that our digital team, thanks to Chuck, Betash, very much the whole team, you know, put this effort. We have now visibility to Google Analytics. There are some good things that I can say, because again, for instance, from print or third party in general, we not always see the direct results, but then we can see, like, okay, that at least they clicked, or they did something, or they went to the website, or they wanted to go to the My account, or, you know, they did something else. So it gives us some level of visibility. We cannot yet trace it to specific accounts, but I will take this, because at least this gives me a little more information about the behavior of my customers, and it helps me make the decision, like, you know, should I choose Dr. Bicuspid if you know, I ran email or banners for a whole year and I haven't seen anything, right? Should I be using this vehicle for my next spend? So things like that. So again, this is more of a marketing tool. I probably wouldn't show this in a meeting with you know, Mr. Glidewell, Stephanie, because maybe they won't see it. There is no really direct correlation to the KPI on the hard numbers, but as a marketer, it gives me some of the information that I currently don't have, and it lets me at least to see some of the things that are becoming more prominent. Like, for instance, when a dentist receives an email and then they click through and then they see, like, oh, maybe I have this offer in my account. Should I go to my account and, you know, or go send keys and see if I can apply that coupon over there? So things like that are very useful. And then our second most successful campaign, that's we are growing our BruxZir, our practice with BruxZir campaign, highlighting again on internally dentists who are low users of BruxZir, so 1 to 5 units. Then BruxZir aesthetic. So even though you see the number small, but when we look at the KPIs, specifically new accounts, restart accounts, growing number of active accounts, double-digit growth on revenue and on units, then you see that BruxZir aesthetic is our hopefully BruxZir Radiant will give us the extra boost, some more that we need. But BruxZir aesthetic is what we will be spending lots of our efforts, because it resonates really well, resonates with millennial doctors. And as most of you know, the trend in dentistry, more women graduating now from dental schools than men. The percentage is still like more now 50-50, but considering that it was more 30, 70, 20 years ago or so. So something important for us to keep an eye on. And we have campaign to address it. Then our new campaign, BruxZir is every generation's choice. So this is a brand new campaign that we launched at the end of Q1. So we're gonna give it some more time. And again, this campaign is probably our most difficult because it goes to our already highly successful customers who spend lots of money with us but don't prescribe either BruxZir formulation. So we'll see. Perhaps with the new cement, the new SARC cement coming, perhaps there is an opportunity for to change the call to action a little bit, but we'll see what Eric and Rob have to say about this. But I would like to tie this campaign into something more than just coupon, perhaps the cement, but again, we'll see how it goes. And then Biotemps and BruxZir. So this campaign relies on a natural symbiosis between the temporary and the final restoration. And we are basically trying to incentivize the dentist. I believe the last number I saw was like 7,000 of dentists who prescribe Biotemps but don't finish it, the restoration in BruxZir. So this is an ideal campaign for that audience. And then lastly, our lab-facing campaign. So as most of you know, this year we stopped advertising meaning blanks outside. So no third-party advertising, you won't see that, and basically focus on internal customers. We still have plenty of customers both on outsource side. So those are the labs that have 10 accounts, and on the 70 side. That don't yet prescribe milling blanks. So we refurbished actually the campaign a little bit. We created new brochures. So the size of this brochure, you can see it's smaller, it's different, and it is designed to actually fit into the bag. So this is what we are doing. We are now putting those brochures with outgoing lab cases at the PRK. So whenever a lab orders milling blanks, they get the brochure, and with it more information about BruxZir, and of course the 3+1 evergreen coupon code to prescribe to incentivize them to prescribe more BruxZir. And then going quickly to the KPI, before I go to the KPIs, I want to spend a little bit time on the initiatives for Q4. So those are just key initiatives. There are, of course, many other things that they are more like, maintenance / minutia type of things that probably you as our key stakeholders are less interested in. You are more interested in like, I want to see actual campaign. I want to see results. I want to see the KPIs going up. So So those are again just the key highlights. Like I mentioned, we are splitting the BruxZir aesthetic into 3 segments. So we realize that there are dentists, of course, those are the ones that we target right now, who currently don't prescribe BruxZir aesthetic, but then we can split them even more. So we notice that there are dentists who prescribe BruxZir, right, but don't prescribe BruxZir aesthetic. So we need to give them different message because they already are aware of all the benefits of BruxZir, but may not understand maybe the difference, what BruxZir is, the benefits that BruxZir aesthetic offers. Then we also see quite many customers. The number isn't that huge. It's not like, thousands, but it's more like 2,000s, 3,000s. We see dentists who prescribe BruxZir full strength in the anterior, and I'm not talking about the veneers, but we see like BruxZir full strength truly being prescribed in anterior restoration, and it is mind-boggling because I wouldn't think that I would think that BruxZir aesthetic would be more suitable, but perhaps the messaging has to be different for this type of dentist because the assumption, there are some underlying assumption for us why they do this. So we want to address this specifically versus just like, tell them, oh, here is a BruxZir aesthetic, here is a discount. So we need to explain, And then, so we will rerun the BruxZir upsell campaign and see again if what we've got was an accident, like a nice accident, or is it something that we can gain consistently, and then also to see if we can improve. Again, including digital customers. We are also launching for the first time on BruxZir cross-sell emails to dentists who attended webinars. So Dr. Park, you will be tagged soon for approvals on those messages. We want to present offer to the doctors and just make sure that, like, if they not yet our customers, then at least we give them a chance to become our customers. Then we have the QC staffers still need to finish small transitions with a nice discount for something to drive PFM, CZ. I know it sounds a little bit contradictory, but those are the asks from our key stakeholders, and we do understand that they also have their KPIs, so we wanna help as much as we can. We will be sort of resurrecting our idea of a cross-sell campaign for dentists who prescribe 4+ units of BruxZir and present them a free bite splints. So when we started thinking about this campaign last year, there were obvious challenges with the infrastructure, but now that things are moving forward a little more, there has been some movement. So we are hoping that maybe perhaps there is something we can do. We are also with what we've learned from the BruxZir upsell campaign, we also like to start incorporating the digital savings to emails, only to emails, so only emails, only for BruxZir. But please don't worry, we're not gonna blanket the whole wide world and cause troubles to the customer service. We will not do anything until we're gonna meet with Samantha Omar and her team, just to make sure that the messaging that we have is that the team is okay with it. So I'm just giving you heads up that this is in works, and we are going to implement it. We are also finally ready to prep for our next corporate campaign. So this one will be a partnership and promoting our digital campaigns and digital doctors. And then lastly, zirconia replacement, lifetime replacement policy. I know, Daryl, you were very skeptical about this campaign, and I totally get it based on the results. However, this campaign is actually unique. There is no other lab in the United States that offers these benefits. So I believe that if we revamp the messaging, perhaps tweak a little bit the call to action, we may gain some traction. So this is all I wanted to show you on the BruxZir site. The other slides, you can take a look on your own. They are mainly aligned with what we were showing in the initial slides. And